teman Pro 2, welcome back to Sore Ceria on 89.5 FM teman terbaik kamu. You're tuned in to the right place for good vibes this afternoon. Today we're diving into a topic that's both brainy and super fun, which is debating. Yup. We're talking about why debating is actually fun and not just about being serious or competitive. Back again with me as your host and moderator, Patricia, and I am here as a student from SMAN 1 Jember with some of my friends. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves? Let's start off with some of the guys here. So, I have an upperclassman here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Eldio Alifi Atayariandaru from SMA 1 Jember.
And what would the listeners call you?
You can call me Eldio, it's fine.
Okay, so KLD. And the other guy here?
My name is Muhammad Firdaus Baskoro. You can call me Coco.
Okay, so KLD and Coco for the guys. And my best friend here, the prettiest in the room.
My name is Kayla Denisa Putri, and you can call me Kayla.
Okay, so here we are here to share some funny moments to the thrill of making your point heard. So let's unpack why stepping up to the podium can be one of the most exciting things you'll ever do. So guys, mind telling me like what was your first debate experience like, or did it actually feel nerve-wracking, or do you guys have like NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, and you guys actually enjoy being on the podium? Okay, so anybody would like to start here? I think that all of us have experience in debating, right? And especially Coco and Kayla here. I know Coco's the best at debating because, you know,
What?
he's our team captain. Yeah.
What?
Okay, so maybe we start with the team captain, right, guys?
Alright. So about our first debate, it was actually during the time when we were still in junior high school, surprisingly.
Okay.
So not in high school where people would typically start their debates actually, but we were in junior high school. It was what, ninth grade, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so would you like specify who you were with, like who was in your team back then in junior high school?
During ninth grade, we the team was me. There's also Kayla, and there's also another person. She moved in the middle.
She
of
transferred, yeah.
Yeah.
She transferred in the middle. Her name was Princess. So yeah, it was all like the first experience for that all three of us. It was kind of scary, to be honest, because you don't really know what you're doing yet.
Okay, so
You're kind of
actually the nerve-wracking experience was because you don't know what to expect.
Yes, at that point you were pretty much just spouting nonsense.
Okay, right.
Spouting nonsense at each other. Your opponent is pretty much doing the same, so you were just kind of confused. Though it was really fun, talking with other people, having this as the first time you actually get to experience debating itself. It's really, really fun.
Okay, so I get it. You took it as a wonderful experience itself, even if it was quite a splurt of words and it was sort of a blurry experience, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I take it you did compete with Kayla here.
We did compete, but it was like during, Bulan Bahasa at school.
Oh, okay.
So it was like against the whole ninth grade.
Against the whole ninth grade. Would you elaborate?
like-
What do you mean it's against?
Each ninth graders, the whole batch, they competed against each other.
Okay.
Since Coco and I weren't classmates at the time, we went against each other during the one of the chambers.
And I lost.
And you lost. Okay, so you lost to a girl. Okay, props to you on not being a sore loser then.
Damn.
Okay, give an applause, guys. Okay. No, I meant about the competition that he stated that you guys competed with one of your friends that had transferred to another school.
Oh.
Yeah, you did compete together at that competition, right? So,
Yes.
like, would you share your points of view from where you debated at that time?
Well, in my opinion, the debates I did in junior high school was low-key funny. What I mean by
funny.
What I mean by funny is that just like what Coco said, we don't really know what we were doing. Like the structure itself was a bit confusing, and we didn't really get to properly learn how to debate. Unlike in high school now, we actually have like an upper class women and class men to look up to. Back then,
Okay.
in junior high school, we didn't have that, so we were
You
like,
were the upperclassmen they looked
Yeah.
up to. Oh, that was cool, guys. That was
Yeah.
You were the role model. Okay, so Kaelio here was not one of the role models back in junior high school, huh?
Yeah, I was not pretty dominant back then. I was
So you didn't start debating in junior high school.
I started around the same time as them.
Okay, so share a little more about that.
So, firstly, it was a like very nervous experience. It was
Okay.
like very chaotic because I don't really know what I'm doing there. I don't really have an example. I don't really have a role model. Same as Kayla's problem.
So, okay,
So I can't really make out the words
make out the words.
that
Okay.
is in my head. My internal dialogue is far different than what I'm about to say. It's like
So it's like jumbled words and ideas in your brains, just not being able to put up into arguments to say in a debate, right?
yeah, it's like catching a bunny. It's like hopping around in my brain. It's so difficult to catch one of them, so I just randomly spare out a word.
Okay, so based on all of your guys' descriptions, starting off a debate means to start off as splurting out words, right?
yeah.
To be honest, yes.
Okay, so to all the Manpro Dua out there, if you're starting out a debate, whether you're a junior high school student or you're a senior high school student, it's okay if you feel like you're just splurting out words because you're still practicing and maybe it's your first experience, and it's definitely okay to improve from that. Okay, so how did you guys improve from those word splurts? Like, I'm sure you guys did some practice or did some reading, right? You guys didn't just get better unnaturally,
Well,
or maybe the experience got to you guys.
well, I'm started by taking some notes that I found from seeing each contestant debates. I'm taking notes from that. I'm learning by seeing the others do it.
Oh,
How-
you're allowed to look at other contestants' notes.
No, I mean like I'm taking notes by looking at other contestants, and based on how their performance, I was able to tell how good or how bad I am at debating.
Oh, okay. So you like compare yourselves to the other contestants.
Yes,
Oh, I
exactly.
see. Because you didn't have a role model at your school, so you try to find other role models outside of your school.
Yes, it was like pretty chaotic back then.
Okay, so how about you guys, Coco and Kayla? I assume you guys mostly had the same experiences, right? Because you mostly competed together. Guys, please
Okay,
don't point
okay, okay.
fingers.
Yeah, okay. So when it comes to me, how I learned how to actually like properly debate is that I learned about these things about called parliamentaries. These are the rules that people use typically to to host a debate, so how a debate would proceed and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of just researched more about what is this Asiatic parliamentary. So I looked it up, I read a lot, and then there's this other one called British parliamentary. So I looked that up and looked and read more about that. So I kind of started understanding what each person is supposed to do, what their roles are, what they're supposed to say. So bit by bit, I suppose from that, we kind of pissed through what we were supposed to do.
Okay, so you kind of just scrolled through the system so you know what to expect.
Yes.
So, what's the most important thing you guys think that you need to prepare in a debate? I feel like Kayla hasn't got enough chance to talk, so please elaborate on more of your experiences, Kay.
What you need to prepare the most is obviously what you have to say.
Well, yes, we all know that. That's nice info, Kayla. That's
Amazing.
nice info, Kayla. Amazing. But like specifically,
Specifically in what actually?
like, of course you need to say something, but what do you have to like care about in what you're saying? Like, do you need to care about the vocabulary, or like how strong your arguments are, or how important your reasonings are, or how much real facts there are in what you're saying?
Well, the most important thing is that you need to have your facts ready, because in a debate, it's where you go against each other, right? And how you have to win is that you have to have the best arguments. And what I mean by the best arguments is that your arguments must be factual. Like, you can't just blurt out random opinions without a source. So that means that if it's just an opinion, it's very debatable, right? But if you want to win a debate, your arguments must be factual. So it's
true.
better to no. It's good to do a lot of research, and like from a lot of news or like maybe other journals. So when you're actually doing the debate, you can give a real example and also give the source, so that your arguments will be
Alright.
believable.
So the adjudicators and also your opponents will believe what you're saying and feel
Yes.
that they're wrong and feel that you're the one right because you're
Yeah.
supporting your arguments, right? Okay. So guys, like, how has debating helped you in like areas in your life, socially or academically, or in how you interact with other people? Okay, so the one who struggles in interacting, I guess, Claudio, you're
Well-
smiling a lot.
Yeah, it's my first time here. Well, the most beneficial part from joining a debate is that you can make a strong argument from in real life. So if you're trying to convince someone, you can do it structurally, and you can do it with more correct approach.
With a more correct approach. Okay, all right. So that's just all you think that how it impacts your life?
I mean, it's also like hugely impacting my public speaking skills. It makes me stutter words less, and it makes my confidence higher than before.
I see. And like, is debating professionally in a contest different from debating with one of your friends or a classmate or a family member in a daily life?
No, I would say definitely.
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah.
Why?
It's not that different, but arguing is more chaotic than debating. And debating is like just like arguing, but with more euphemism, with more structure, and with more orders in it. So I'd say it's real different from arguing.
Okay. So how about Coco and Kela? Do you guys agree?
Yeah, because when you're arguing with someone like a friend, you usually the arguments you say are not structured usually, because sometimes the arguments can get chaotic, and at this time you will just start shouting at each other, and like that's not allowed in a real debate, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
true.
different.
But like, have you guys ever been, because of your because of how many experiences you've had in a debate, you've unintentionally been structured when you're arguing with a friend? Has that ever happened before?
I feel like no, actually.
No.
on,
Okay.
on a real debate competition, you would have time to prepare, you would have time to rehearse what you were saying, you would have time to expect what the opponent is about to say. In in an argument between you and let's say a friend that just happened to happen due to, well, some differences in opinions, I feel like there's no preparations to that. There's no structure to that. There's no really, like, not really a rule to what you're gonna do, say, or and whatnot. So yes, it is very different. I don't think it has helped me in real life.
Okay, so I think that's all, and that wraps up our first segment here on Sore Ceria at 89,5 FM, teman terbaik kamu. To all teman Pro 2 out there, we hope you're starting to see debating in a new light, not just as a contest, but as a fun and energizing way to express yourself. Stick around, because up next we'll talk about turning that fun into a winning habit. Stay with us, and bye-bye!
FM, teman terbaik kamu. Teman terbaik kamu.
Pro 2.
Pro 2 FM Jember, muterin lagu terbaik buat kamu.
Welcome back teman Pro 2. You're still with us on Sore Ceria only on 89,5 FM teman terbaik kamu. After talking about the fun side of debating and our experiences, now it's talking about the fun of a little more shifting the gears in this segment because we're exploring what it takes to turn that fun into consistent victories. So, how do some people seem to win debate after debate? Is there a secret formula or is it all about habits, preparation, and mindset? Let's break it down together with me again, your host and moderator, Patricia. Also here, still with my friends.
Eldio, Alivi, Atayari Andaru.
Coco.
Kayla.
Okay, so Kak Elio, Coco, and Kayla. Right, so on with the question, guys. So, what are the habits or the routines that help you prepare for a competition or you think would be beneficial for debate preparation?
Oh, definitely reading the news. Yeah.
Definitely reading the
Oh, yes.
news. Okay,
Read
so
a
that's like
lot.
Yeah,
number one on top. So okay. How about we make a list and you guys discuss a list together.
Oh,
What?
on the top of the list, probably it's like reading the news because being aware of what's happening around you is so important in the debate. Mostly, debate competition discusses about the real things that happen in the world on real time too. So it's like
Yeah.
up to date.
Because usually the
Yeah.
motions in a debate are like, they take up what's trending, right? What's
Yes.
the hot topic and
Exactly.
what people are mostly talking about right now, and they expect all the participants to know about it too, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They do.
okay. So,
Precisely.
guys, please like reply or something. Do you guys agree with this, or do you think
Yeah.
that there's another thing
Yes.
that's more crucial other than reading news?
Obviously, it's very important to be up to date and read the news. However, it's also important to maybe learn about cultural stuff and morals because in debate, we're not only talking about political stuff. It can the recent topics I've seen a lot in debate is usually about AI and technology and stuff because
AI
that's
and technology.
yeah.
That's what's
That's up-
booming.
It's the
That's
hot
what's
topic right
happening
now.
in our. It's really general though, and I think it's overused. And yeah, you guys, it's like in every competition of debate I've been in, they've always talked about AI technology, and I'm really becoming sick of that because I don't really understand technology.
Because
But-
it's like the real problem that's happening that needs solving.
Oh, so you think it's a problem?
It's a problem.
It
AI
is a
is
problem.
It kind of is, yes.
Okay,
True.
so what do you guys think of that? Elaborate.
There's a lot of moral limitations to what a person may think as ethical or not in the use of these new technologies, right? So because you can do like a lot more than what we could do like 5 years ago, even though it's just one breakthrough. Oh, it's just intelligence, but you can't say it's just intelligence because we are intelligence.
We are intelligent, so wait, what does that mean? We are intelligent, so like without well, it's true that without humanity here, AI wouldn't be here, right?
Yes, it's true that without humanity, AI would not be here because what AI is kind of recreating, as in its name, artificial intelligence, it needs to follow a certain way of thinking, an intelligence, and we are the intelligence. AI is
Yeah.
basically
Okay.
a more modernized version of a human being, but with the access to all the information in the world.
Okay, so I think that's enough for the AI and technology, and I think that's quite useful and beneficial for the listeners for Teman Pro 2 out there that want to know more about AI, or maybe the ones who have a debate competition whose motions are about AI and technology. That's some information from our captain of debate team, Coco. Yeah, but let's get back to the
Say
topic,
what?
guys. Let's talk about more about debate. So, the biggest question I'm actually curious about here is, what do you think about research versus delivery?
Yeah, that one is
Okay, no. Let's take turns in the table and we vote. Okay, starting with Caldio. Research versus delivery.
Oh, I definitely do a lot of research, but since
No.
I'm-
Pick
Oh, pick.
research versus delivery. Pick a side.
Delivery.
Delivery.
Yes.
Okay.
Delivery.
Okay, so this is basically saying that you're saying it's better to have a good delivery but bad or less research rather than having a lot of research but no skill whatsoever to deliver it.
Yes.
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 Okay. So go.
I must agree with him. Delivery is important.
Okay.
Very
so
important.
why?
Because it doesn't matter how much research you've done, how much time you've spent researching on a on a specific topic, if you are incapable of passing through that information towards anyone else,
Okay. sure.
especially in a debate to your opponents or to the judges. Because if you fail to pass on the information that you have, then what's the point of even researching the first time?
Yeah.
Okay. True. And Kayla?
Yeah, I very much agree with KLDO and Coco's reasoning because it's true. Let's say you spend an all-nighter to research on a certain motion, but then on the D-Day you're like stunned. You cannot talk, and maybe you could talk, but like
Okay,
in
stunned.
a
Okay, that's not
very
stunned, man. That's being autistic. That's stuttering.
What?
but
Okay, I'm sorry, teman berdua, that was a bit offensive. But what we mean here, stunned as not really stunned like a stroke or like a sickness,
No.
but like stunned as in not being able to talk anything, right?
yeah, as in like suddenly what's in your mind is just blank. Like what you have prepared last night is just gone, and then you have maybe you deliver it like in a low tone, and like if it's very hard for the adjudicator or even for the opponents to hear, then like they won't have any idea what point you're trying to say. So that's why delivery is very important, even if you have done a lot of research.
Okay, but how about you yourself? Do you think you've done more research or more better into the delivery?
I feel like other than research, I've done more.
No. Pick. Do you think you're better on research or
Oh,
delivery?
better on delivery. Yeah.
Okay, so you think you're better on delivery.
Yeah.
So you think your public skills are better than your general knowledge?
Yeah, because honestly, my general knowledge is like if it was an iceberg, I would only know like the top of it, like
yeah, true. I
the
relate to that
tip.
so
the
much.
lower parts, like the deeper sea level.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it because why? Because I prefer researching about a lot of stuff, but not actually diving into a certain topic. So
Yeah,
I
true.
I
Because
know a lot of stuff.
It
but
actually
not
takes up a lot
that
of
much.
time, right?
Yeah.
Especially if like you're going to do a debate competition and it's only like a few days away. It's critical to just cover up more topics than like the depth of the topics, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how about Coco and Kaaldio? Do you guys think that you've done more research or are you guys better in delivery yourselves?
I've done way too much research.
Okay, we like a confident king.
What? What?
Same.
Okay.
What are we saying here?
Okay. No. So you think you've done more research than you are better at delivery?
Yes.
Okay, and so that means you like reading the news, you like...
I do. I like to be updated on certain topics of information, specifically about technology and also automotive. I'm very into that. But when it comes to delivery, I feel like my delivery is kind of all over the place without no proper structure. So
Okay.
I feel like I could still improve a lot in that part.
Okay, so last but not least?
Yeah, I feel same with Coco. I feel
okay.
like my research and delivery it's on 1:50 ratio.
1:50 ratio, man.
It is that far.
Okay.
It is that
So like
far.
if Kayla's the top of the iceberg, you're like the depths of the depths of the iceberg.
It's really easy to get lost.
Yes.
Get lost in what?
Get lost in knowledge, information. If
Oh, so you're like a geek?
you can say that. Yeah, you can say that. I say it like that.
I mean, like you're keen on information and always trying to know more and more things, and you're unintentionally just curious. You know?
Yeah.
I guess. Yes.
I'm unintentionally become obsessed with the subjects.
Would you say that is a problem for you, or would you say that's beneficial?
I say that beneficial, but I need to develop more delivery skill so that I can
Yeah.
actually.
Okay, so
Having
can you
a lot of
share?
research.
Can you share maybe how or what you do to actually research more about the depths of the topics and motions? So maybe me and Kayla could learn more about the depths too.
Well, you start from finding out the news. It's the first step to learning. find out, and then you read it again, and then you start to become curious. You develop questions,
Yes.
and then you answer that questions
By
from
looking
researching.
by looking at more news.
Yeah.
Yeah, by looking at more news.
By looking at more news. That's just what you guys do as debaters. News, news, and news,
It's
right?
not just news, but it's sometimes articles and also graphs,
Yes.
Graphs.
as in data.
Oh,
Data
so
from various
statistical
sources.
data.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like numbers and percentages are important too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very important.
So you guys remember numbers, a lot of those numbers, according to all the news?
Some.
Yeah, some.
Do you
Uh,
know that about 60 to 70% of Indonesia's electricity is still made by by burning coal?
Oh, well that's new. I didn't know that. I thought we were mostly modern now.
Yeah, I do not know about that
No, we
either.
aren't.
Well, that shows how dense we are, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like what mental skills do you think are important for a debater to have?
Yeah, yeah.
Mental skills, like mentally.
Mental skills.
I'd say confidence.
Okay, confidence, true. Because I mean, if you don't have confidence, your delivery will be all over the place, right?
Yeah, your opponents will attack you furiously if you don't have confidence.
Okay, can you stop licking the mic and
Not?
start answering? Okay, Coco, try answering it. Okay, what mental skills, Coco?
First off, I agree with Elio. Confidence is really important.
Other
but I
than
feel like-
confidence, guys,
I
we know that-
I was trying to elaborate. Stop cutting me off.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. My bad, my bad.
First off, but if confidence itself is not enough, you also gotta be able to like manage your emotions really well, because sometimes your opponents are purposely fishing,
Yeah.
baiting you to pull out your more informal emotions, and therefore get them more of an advantage than they actually have. So not only do you need to be confident, you also have to you need to also have the ability to manage your emotions.
Okay, so by the saying and explaining of mental illness, I think that is all for the second segment here on Sore Ceria 89,5 FM teman terbaik kamu. To all our teman Pro 2, remember winning doesn't happen by accident. It's a habit built from focus, practice, and learning from every single round. Don't go anywhere, because in our final segment we'll talk about the heart of it all, the people, the teams, and the unforgettable moments that make debating a lifelong adventure. You're still with us, teman Pro 2, on Sore Ceria here at 89,5 FM, teman terbaik kamu. We've talked about the fun of debating and the habits behind winning, and now let's talk about the community that brings it all to life. Because in this final segment, we're diving into the world of debate culture, the teams, the tournaments, the rivalries, and the friendships. Because behind every great debater is a support system, a story, and a few unforgettable experiences. Let's get into it. Still with me, your host and moderator, Patricia, and with my friends.
Aldio.
Go.
Okay, I guess you got the hang of it now.
Yeah.
Right, guys? Okay, so here's the big gong question, yeah. And I want you guys to answer this seriously, because some of you guys are in the same debate team as I am, and I don't want a dense answer. What makes being a part of a debate team special? Oh,
What's up with Coco, yeah?
Coco's expression is the most intriguing, so
No,
go.
Yeah, let's start with Coco.
Okay. What was the question again?
Oh my god, no man. This is the gong question. Okay, can you guys repeat the question for me? Oh my god, none of you guys remember the question. I am going to burst. Okay, so listen up, okay? I'm not gonna repeat this again. 3, 2, 1. What makes being a part of a debate team special? Okay.
Could
Lo.
She gets it.
no.
Be serious.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys like 5 seconds to think, and I'm going to ask first from Coco to
Yeah.
Kayla to Elio. Okay?
Okay.
5, 4,
1.
3, 1. Go.
Alright, okay. So, What makes being in a debate team special?
Make it long and make it heartful and make me cry.
What?
I'm in your debate team.
Wow.
I'm in your debate team. Both
Wow.
of your debate team members are here. Coco, please.
It's about the togetherness to me. I feel like in a debate team, not only do you need to be capable literally, or like where you are consuming a lot of knowledge, where you deliver your speeches properly. That's not necessarily the only part of debate, because debate is a team. It's a team-wide competition. You must rely to your friends, and your friends must rely to you, and therefore you and your friends must be able to really, really like put their trust onto you, that you won't screw something up, that you won't actually
true.
mess up, and therefore make the competition worse. That's where the part of chemistry
Yeah,
goes in.
like you gotta have each other's backs, and even if
Yes.
you do screw up, like you gotta
You still
cover up
gotta
for it.
cover up, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you don't go even, you don't make even more blunders. You don't lose harder. You don't.
You don't
ma-
lose harder.
Yeah.
There's losing harder,
Oh,
hardest.
you lost, but I lost harder.
What? Okay, okay. So that's a new saying, guys. So side note, we don't always win. We've just won. How many times?
Once.
How many times?
Twice. Oh
Twice.
wait.
You guys won twice. I just won once in debate. In
Yeah.
debate.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Highlight in debate. Okay. Right. So go ahead, Kayla. What
Well,
makes being in a debate team special? Guys, don't laugh. Don't laugh. I actually want to. I actually want to hear some like heartfelt explanation here.
Well, if I have to be honest, my answer won't be too far away from Coco's because
No. It needs to be far away.
no, I
Be
can't.
creative, man. You're like an arts humaniora student, right?
What? No, because
Well, they have
Because-
synchronized minds as in a team, so that's a good sign, I guess.
yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's
LDO got us.
Yeah.
LDO got us.
stop having their backs. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Stop.
Well, I think I should be in their team instead of you, right?
that's
Okay. Fine.
I'm having their backs right now.
Fine, fine. Thank you. I will not be in this podcast right now. I will go out.
no, don't do
Find
that.
another moderator. Okay.
No, don't do
really,
that, don't
really,
do that.
really, really. Answer.
No, because what Coco said is true, and like especially teamwork is very important in a debate. Let's say you're in a debate team, but all of you are individuals. That just will not work because if you're an individual, you will only think about yourself and yourself only. So, if one of your teammates make a mistake, you will probably just like absolutely bash your teammate like like
That's
oh my
such a
god,
harsh
you
word.
did so bad, like.
Oh my god.
But if in the team we have the togetherness, like Coco said, we
Togetherness.
Yeah.
Okay.
we will instead like
Platonically, guys. Yeah, not
What?
romantically.
What?
platonically, obviously.
Platonically.
Why
Like,
would you be in a relationship with 3 people?
Well, no. No.
Yeah.
Censor topic. No. Okay. Go ahead,
Anyways.
Kayla. Just continue with your answer.
because if you're in a team, you are supposed to work together. So having a great chemistry is like you need to have good chemistry in a team, or else it will simply just not work.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
So like as if in an occasion where you somehow go into competition and somehow you get separated from your original mates to be paired with the quote unquote best speakers in general, you would probably the new team that has been assembled would probably fail because they do not one, they don't know each other.
Yeah.
Two, they don't know their dynamics, so they don't know what to do when another person does this.
Oh, so you guys think that it's better to have like a lower than average speaker that has the chemistry and has been competing with you than being paired up with a better speaker?
Yeah,
I'd
because
say yes.
in
Yeah.
my
Okay.
opinion,
Yeah.
the quote unquote bad speaker can always improve anytime and can learn better. And for some people, it's better. I mean, no, it's easier to improve themselves than to interact with other people, like get more friends or something.
Okay. So I feel like I don't really know like the bad impacts when we change up the members of the team in a debate, because I've always been competing in a debate with just you, Kayla, and Coco, and I've never been in a debate with another team before, but Kak Eldio has
Yeah,
been.
that is basically the whole career of my debate has
Okay.
been with random people. Not say random, I've known them before, but
Like
it's
Different
it's
people.
my first
Different
time.
people,
Yeah, it's my
okay.
first time with them in the debate.
Please be
Okay.
I'd say
gentle.
the biggest difficulties to adapting them is to have a high expectation. They have high expectation of you, so you are very pressured. You have a lot of pressure in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do better than them. You have like that.
or like you have to be like as good as they are, or
Yes.
you have.
Exactly.
Well-
I'm
Wait,
just
no?
scared that I don't meet their standards. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they have
Okay,
high
okay.
standards. Maybe they want their speakers to
Okay.
be confident. They want speakers to be loud, to be dominating.
Raw.
But
Okay.
I'm afraid that I am
Well, not that
meeting. I'm afraid that I'm not meeting that demand of them. So
The
it's-
man of them.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's
Okay.
It always feels like I'm the one who is anchoring the team down. I'm the one who is like
I'm
bleeding
sure you're
them.
not though. I'm sure you're not.
Yeah, but with random people.
I mean, like, please don't be insecure in this podcast, guys. Only good vibes. Good
No,
vibes.
no, but I mean, with random people, you have a hard time
Okay,
adapting to
true,
that.
true, true.
But
Like,
if you have
Yeah, I feel like you would also be more comfortable with like this of
pros
having
and cons
a
and
team.
having a team as your friends, they don't really like evaluate you if you are pairing up with a random people. They
Okay.
only evaluates themselves,
Okay,
right?
true, true, true.
Very individuals.
Okay, but you missed
Yeah.
the whole question. What makes being a part of a debate team special?
Well, I've never been in one unless I don't
What?
know. Not saying
You
that
said
I've been debating myself. I've never been in a concrete team before. Never like once for all the competitions type of.
So there's nothing special about it just because you've only with them once?
Yeah, I'd say that if I imagine myself to be in one, I'd say that it's very special.
Okay. Okay, so and just like that, by sharing how special debate teams are and how we've experienced being in debate teams, we've reached the end of today's episode on Sore Ceria at 89,5 FM Teman Terbaik Kamu. To all our teman Pro 2, we hope today's talk reminded you that debating isn't just about arguments and awards. It's about the people you grow with, the lessons you carry, and the fun that you have along the way. So keep the spirit alive, and who knows, maybe your next big win is just one debate away. So see you next time, and 3, 2, 1, bye-bye.